We had a great first half against App State. Guys were focused, and the defense was fantastic, which led to a 27-2 run in the first half and iced the game away basically at 46-17. Only scored 5 points the last 7.5 minutes of the game, 2 field goals and free throw, or we would have got our season average. But I was really encouraged by what I saw defensively. Guys, we had our best defensive effort of the year in conference play, and to get that going is important. We also out-rebounded App, and that was a big factor in the basketball game. It was our first game that we played without Jaquin Gant, and we'll know more about his availability later this week. But the guys responded and stepped up in a nice way. We turned around against Coastal, blew a couple of ball screen coverages in the first half. Beck hit a couple of threes. Their guys did a good job making three-point shots, but the defense stiffened up a little bit. Had another run. Frank hit some threes for us, got us off to a good start. We wanted to go inside out. We got away from that a little bit in the first half, but we were making three-point shots and took a 43-29 lead in the locker room. Our goal was to win the second half. We knew they'd make a run. We won by 3. Cuthbertson had a really good second half, scoring, 21 points in 18 minutes or so. He's a very good player, he and Beck. Beck and Shaw were preseason all-league picks, and Cuthbertson will be up for newcomer of the year for sure. So it was good to get past that one. Another good defensive effort, another good rebounding effort. Double-doubles for Bryce in both games. He's continuing to lead the league in rebounding, doing an excellent job shooting free throws. Jay and I talked on the radio the other night, and knock on wood, I haven't had a team shoot free throws like this in a 6-game stretch in my career. So they're doing a great job shooting right at 86% from the free throw line. And Jay pointed out that Monroe is leading the league in free throw shooting ahead of us overall. We're at 74+%. That was going into the game the other night. But we've made 98 more than they've attempted. So there's a big discrepancy there in the scoring, which is important for us because we use the free throw line as a way to score. I was a little bit surprised to have 11 two-point field goals, and I'm going to ask Matt to look that up, but I'd like to see the last time we played at home, made 11 two-point field goals and won a game by 17 points, because that's unheard of. But it shows you the free throws and the three-pointers were huge in that game. Today is an academic day and a video day. We'll turn our sights on to Monroe tomorrow and start making preparations for those guys. It's a reunion game. We've got a lot of former players that we're looking forward to seeing to come back. We expect a big crowd. We want to encourage our season ticket holders and rebounders and people of Acadiana to come out and continue to support this team, bring a guest. We'll have the students back in school, and we're looking forward to a good student turnout as well. Monroe has played well. They opened up conference at Arkansas State, totally dominated them in the first half. They wound up losing that basketball game. They turned around and lost at Little Rock. Then they played very well against Coastal Carolina. Sam McDaniel, who's leading the league in free throw percentage as an individual, was 6 for 6 from 3 in that ball game and 6 for 6 from the line. So he's a very good player. Travis Munnings is a very good player. They've got some guys that can step up and play at a high level, and they'll certainly do that against us. So we're looking forward to the game on Saturday. Feel like our versatility and our depth has helped us. We have no one in the top 20 in the league in minutes played. The only other team that can say that is Little Rock, and they're at the bottom of the league and we're at the top of the league. So hopefully saving these guys' legs a little bit will pay off for us down the stretch. Questions?
What's going to be your biggest stress point with the Thursday off during the week?
Biggest stress point? Rest. I mean, you talk about what are you
going to stress most in practice with the extra
we're certainly going to rest, but work on cleaning up some things, Tim, offensively in a half court. Defensively, we're going to work on some things. Probably put in a couple of new counters to our offense, but try to clean some things up. It is a time to improve. We've got 2 opportunities, and this is the first one.
After, I believe, in the Coastal game, you talked about how much the team shared the ball, but I've also heard from sitting next to benches, I think it was the Coastal bench, them complimenting your defense and just saying, wow, the defense is so tough. What have you taken more pride in so far? How your team shares the ball, or how your team plays team defense?
Well, both. We've shared the ball all year, so I'm excited that we're ranked maybe fifth nationally in assists, and Marcus Stroman's ranked sixth or ranked in the top 25. But more importantly, defensively, the last two games have been really good. And if we can continue to do that, continue to guard a three-point line, continue to rebound the ball, then we'll have a chance to be successful moving forward.
Coach, you guys have taken a lot of threes in that last game against Coastal Carolina. You made a lot of those threes, like you said, only 11 two-point field goals. Seth just asked about kind of the assists and the ball movement. Talk to me a little bit about how the ball movement has been so good and how you guys have been so successful moving the ball around.
Well, we just share it. Sharing is caring. We've done a good job with that starting on our Cuba trip. And we've done it through practice. We make the extra pass. As a former point guard, it's certainly important to me, and I love watching us move the ball, and I love when people compliment us on that. I like the defensive compliment more, Seth. I'm glad you brought that up. But it's certainly something that we take pride in being an unselfish team, and we're balanced. If you scout us, we've got different guys that can score. We don't necessarily have a go-to guy, so we have a lot of options at the end of games.
You talked about the minutes. You got 9 averaging double digits. When was the last time you did have a bench that deep?
Probably 2 or 3 years ago, I think we did, but we weren't off to as good a start. We're off to the best start in 28 years, so in this program. So that's encouraging, and we just need to continue to take it one game at a time, play great defense, and be healthy. Something I said from day one, and I'll continue to say to the end.
What were the things that you did against Jalen Shaw on Saturday that enabled you to have success against him? Because it really never looked like he was going to be a guy who could get your team in the basketball.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jay. The second half, he made a tough shot, and then we fouled him. He got the free throw line and made a couple, but he really never got it going like he's capable of doing, and like we saw him do last year up at Conway. We tried to keep him from getting to the middle of the floor on the ball screen, and we bottled him up pretty good a couple of times and kept him from doing that. Now, once or twice that they did get to the middle of the floor, and he turned the corners when they threw back, and Beck got the three-point shots at the top of the key. So, but Shaw's a good player. Marcus played against him in high school, and I felt like Marcus had something to prove the other night. I was really proud of him, and they were a school that was trying to get him when he decided to come with us.
Coach, Malik Marquette's been, catching fire as of late. How important have his contributions been to the team?
Oh, they're big. I mean, he can do so many different things for our team and handle the ball. He can play different positions. I want him to rebound the ball more. He didn't do a good job in the first half. He didn't have any. Second half, he got 3 defensive rebounds. But Malik's been certainly a bright spot for us, and we've needed him from when Jonathan Stove went down initially to now with Keenan down. It just gives us more flexibility.
Frank Bartley really caught fire, I believe, in the second half of that App State game, and it seemed like it carried over to Coastal. When he's hitting from the outside like that, what does that bring to this team?
Makes us a dangerous team when we can get Frank going. He gets it out of his hands so quick. And doesn't need much time or space to get it off. So he's a hard guard. The thing I like about Frank, besides making the three-point shots, now it enables him to drive the basketball and get to the free throw line, which he's one of the leaders in conference play at the free throw line. So certainly proud of that.
When you've got guys coming in from other programs, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Is the biggest key for them making it work being the fact that they were together all of last year and they didn't just show up right before during the summertime or whatever, and they had that time together to kind of learn each other?
Yeah, we've done this a couple times. One worked out with Darshawn McClellan, and another time it didn't work out as well. But when you have a chance to acclimate over the summer, and then they get to practice with us all year, as you said, and then go to Cuba, and it boils down to an individual basis, really, with the guys and what's their mindset and what are they looking for. They want to be a part of something special and go a long way, or are they in it for other reasons? So, and these guys are in it for the right reason. They're in it to win and be part of something special.
Is it just them that allowed them to buy in, or were there other influences that helped them buy in?
Such as, I don't.
I don't know, other teammates or?
No, our teammates, yeah. I mean, when they came, certainly they have to be accepted by the group. We've got great senior leadership, as you guys know, with Bryce Washington, Jonathan Stove, Frank Bartley, and Jacob Broussard and Lorenz Dahlcup. So all those guys have made sure that those guys were a part of the group and have been from day one, and we have our own identity. I've seen this team getting closer and closer as the season progresses, and that's a good sign.
You ever had a makeup like you do now? You got a lot of times you got 4 guards out there. Dancer, Miller comes out. They may be shorter outside of Marchetti, but they're all well put together guards. They're big guys.
They're strong. They've worked hard. We actually had one of our signees was at the game the other night, Trajan Wesley, and I took him upstairs to the office, and he was looking at some pictures of Stove and Bryce when they were sophomores. And he said, "Look at their arms, Coach. They don't look anything like that." And I said, "Well, I'll take that as a compliment." To our strength program, which our last 2 strength coaches have moved on to professional basketball in the NBA. And now Jonathan Uribe, who came from Southern Miss and University of Florida, where they were in the Elite 8 last year. Those guys have done a great job with our team, and we're strong. And I don't mind playing smaller if it's what the game dictates. It depends on the lineups. With Dahlcup, sometimes he plays, sometimes he doesn't. It really depends on the matchups. Same thing, Justin Miller's been starting. We could have started Stove the other night just as well, but I think he settled into coming off the bench. And I liked the way he played the other night. Certainly going 3 for 4 from 3 was big. So our guards are strong and can defend multiple positions.
Coach, your matchups against ULM have typically been close, especially last year when you hit a buzzer beater. What's the difference between last year's team playing ULM and this year's team for the game Saturday?
Last year's team had struggled. We'd lost a few games. We did beat South Alabama the game before, but that was the second of 7 consecutive conference games that we won going into the tournament. And this team's just different. I mean, we're a better team than we were at that stage. We have more depth, as you guys talked about earlier, and we have more versatility. I actually thought about that game last night. I was watching USC and Stanford, and I don't know if you guys saw that, but USC scored with 1.6 to go, and they threw it in, and the freshman guard from Seattle hit a shot just like Stove did from behind half court, a little bit farther away, to win the game.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, just what is it about the UL and ULM matchup that makes it so intense year in and year out?
Well, it's an in-state rivalry. We've had a lot of success against in-state schools. I think you guys have noted in the past. It's a conference game, so it's important from that standpoint. We've had some good teams. The team we had that won the NCAA tournament went up there and lost in double overtime. And Alfred Payton had a triple-double, and we weren't able to win. Sean fouled out in the first overtime. So it doesn't matter who's playing. It's going to be a hard-fought game on both sides. And we'll get their best shot.